해방 후 차별의 삶을 살아온 제1조선인들의 이야기를 담은 드라마 파친코. 원작 소설의 작가 이민지는 한국계 미국인이다. 1968년 서울에서 태어나 9살 때 미국 뉴욕으로 부모님을 따라 이민을 갔다. 아버지가 피란민 출신이라 전쟁에 대한 공포와 자신이 겪었던 슬픔을 자녀들에게 물려주고 싶지 않아 미국으로 이민을 가게 되었다고 한다. 조지타운 대학교 로스쿨을 졸업하고 뉴욕에서 기업 변호사가 되었지만 건강이 나빠져 직장을 그만두고 글을 쓰기 시작했다고 한다. 2008년에 첫 장편 소설인 백만장자를 위한 공짜 음식을 발표했다. 이 책으로 이민진이라는 이름을 알렸고 현재 이 책을 각색하여 넷플릭스와 앨런 양 감독이 1990년대 맨해튼을 배경으로 드라마를 기획 중이라고 한다. 그 후 일본계 미국인인 남편을 따라 4년 정도 일본에서 생활할 때 한국어를 거의 하지 못하는 미국인이었지만 한국 핏줄이라는 이유로 일본에서 차별을 당했다고 한다. 이때 본격적으로 제1교포와 그 주변 인물들에 대해 인터뷰를 진행하고 2017년 두 번째 장편 소설인 파친코를 발표. 뉴욕타임스가 선정한 베스트셀러에 등극하며 큰 주목을 받아 하버드에서 강연을 하고 수많은 하버드 학생들의 질문을 받게 되었다.
Hello, my name is Sun. I'm from South Korea and I love to dance as well.
Oh. By the way, I actually asked my son, I said, okay, I think I should do some sort of dance gesture. What should I do? And he's like, he looked really embarrassed for me. He goes, you could do a shoulder roll. So that was my best shoulder roll.
So I resonate with your story in some ways because I also came when I was young to the United States at 16 years old. And I stayed here since and studying. And now I'm at grad school and thinking more about my career. And I do see myself going back to Korea at some point and
Have you done Kunde?
for a career. Have I
Kunde is
gone, you
military
said?
service. Sorry.
Did you ask if I have gone?
Yeah, have you gone?
I haven't, no.
How old are you?
22.
22. That's adorable.
And so as I'm thinking more about possibility of me going back, and as a social scientist, thinking about I will study about the Korean policies and Korean society, and you are precise. And I always have this sense of vulnerability in that because I am Korean, but I don't know much about Korean society because I've been in the U.S. And I was wondering if you also share that component of vulnerability in your story because you are precisely doing that. You live in U.S. for the majority of your time, but you're writing about Korea and Korean society. So I was wondering if you have that sense of vulnerability in your work and how you have navigated that if you have.
I am very vulnerable. You can hurt my feelings. That's one of my problems, is that I'm constantly worried and anxious and insecure. I've actually used the verb several times today of how I'm afraid. That's actually an adjective. But I fear, I worry, and part of it's because sometimes people try to make me feel inauthentic because my Korean language skills are actually quite poor. And I used to feel really bad about it, and now I don't feel bad about it anymore. Not even a little bit. If you just try to do that to me, I'll just feel like, whatever. And the reason why I'm saying this is because, and the reason I'm being a little flip, but I'm being a little flip because I want you to have courage for whatever people try to make you feel inauthentic about. Because when people try to make you feel ashamed, because they may have expertise and you do not, you have to wonder, why are they doing that? That's not encouraging anybody. And it's certainly not an educational idea. Pedagogically, it's stupid. So one of the things I want to encourage you to think about is that it's impossible at the age of 22 or even at the age of 50 to be an expert about everything. But I have figured out this. There are people in this room right now who know a shit ton more about Korea than I do. That's awesome. But the thing that I feel like I can do better than most people is that I could feel more and use that feeling more with my craft of fiction. And that's my little field. And I could try to do that as well as I can. I don't know what your field is, but I feel like when you do find your field, initially you're going to be stumbling, but that's normal. So my son is 21 years old, and very often when he feels like something is not going well, I think, well, is it because it's difficult? or if it's because it's unfamiliar to you. It's a very different thing. When you start something, it's unfamiliar. But it doesn't mean that you're bad at it, it's just unfamiliar. But I really encourage you to find your field, and if people try to make you feel ashamed, I want you to know that it's their shame, not yours.
So I'm a second semester senior, and a lot of my thoughts recently have been about my family and my parents. And my mother, as we spoke, she owned a hagwon, and she spent, I don't know, a lot of time raising me, educating me, spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on me when we didn't have enough for anything else.
But
So
you're here.
I'm here. So this is my question. As I graduate, and from your experience as a mother, a daughter, ethnographer, a writer, how do I say thank you to my mom and tell her I appreciate what she's done?
I'm gonna cry. Albert, oh. That's so beautiful. She must be very proud of you. I think you did that. I think you should go tell her. All of your education was so freaking great that you made an author cry. From the audience.